Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today I want to have a discussion about everyone's favorite, or should I say old favorite exotic within the Division 2, the Eagle Bear. As the title states, I think our beloved AR needs a buff. I know a lot of people have been saying this ever since Warlords dropped, and it was changed from its original form, and while I've always had this thought in the back of my head, it's really come to the forefront of my mind recently as I've been on the grind for the Ravenous exotic rifle in the new Iron Horse raid for the past 2 weeks. And that's really for two reasons. One, because I've now been reminded of the level of grind and dedication that these raid exotics take to get, and two, because of the Ravenous itself. I don't have the gun yet myself, so I can't talk from personal experience, but I have played with several people who do have it. And while there seems to be a split in the community on whether the majority likes it or not, I can say from my raid groups where people have been using it, it seems pretty good. It does a lot of damage when you get enough stacks up, it has some great utility with the bonus armor, and it's a huge help with staggering Morozova in that final fight, so that's a big plus. So we have all that, and then you go back and think about the Eagle Bear. What the hell is its role? One of my favorite things to recall is when discussing this is when the devs stated that exotics are certainly meant to be powerful, if not best in slot items for their respective roles when you play around their talent. Has anyone ever played around the Eagle Bear's talent, at least after TU8? Because I sure haven't. I think the Eagle Bear is probably one of the few, if not the only exotic that's probably better if you ignore its exotic talent, and it's still one of the best ARs in the game. Weird to think about, huh? Now, like I said, this is all regarding its current state, its post-TU8 functionalities. In year 1, when it granted you additional accuracy and weapon damage plus a reload speed buff on the headshot kill alongside the tenacity buff, the thing was a monster. Everyone knows it. And although it doesn't say it currently in its talent description, I'm pretty sure it still grants you a buff to reload speed. Just try it out for yourself and you'll see what I mean. But regardless of if that's true or not, I think the gun has lost some identity, beyond just being a perfect combination of damage and RPM, hence why it's still one of the best ARs in the game, because its damage is still higher than the average AR of its class, and it has really comfortable RPM and handling. But its talent is just meh. I've never really liked the tenacity aspect of the gun. It kills me for me unintentionally soaking more damage more than it's ever helped me, and yet I still go for headshot kills, maybe just instinctually. Part of the problem here, I believe, is that the exotic AR pool got a bit crowded in terms of similarity. In TU7, when we had the old Eagle Bear and the Chameleon, both granted weapon damage and reload speed. You got the buffs in very different ways, no doubt, but still. And now come TU10, the Bighorn rewards landing headshots, when you think about it, would have been a pretty nice and sensible talent functionality for the Eagle Bear to receive, but oh well. So what needs to happen here? Well, I think the Eagle Bear is still strong to this day. I think it needs a redefining and or buff to its talent to make it stand out as that pinnacle reward to one of the only 2 raids we have in the game. While many people have the gun by now, 14 some months after Dark Hours launched, it's still a very rare exotic and one that everyone who owns one should still feel rewarded for grinding and obtaining once upon a time. Because like I said, I've never seen or met anyone who's played or built around the tenacity talent on the Eagle, just haven't. It doesn't apply or help you out in the Dark Hours raid like the Ravenous Cannon Iron Horse, and it doesn't fit the majority of builds and playstyles, I'd wager. If I'm wrong about that and you enjoy or utilize the tenacity talent, then let me know for sure, but from my experience, that's just how I feel about it. Alright, so how do I think they should buff or rework it? Well, I think there are 2 options. Either make the tenacity a bit more forgiving and enticing to play around, or scrap it and re-embody some of the Eagle's more damage-oriented roots. Let's talk about a rework to tenacity first. If they would want to keep the current talent and make it a bit more enticing, I think the primary goal they need to focus on would be to make it a bit more rewarding and perhaps ease up on its lethality to the player. Here's how I do it. I'd keep the same system for building up damage protection stacks because that works pretty well and seamlessly, and you'd still proc the tenacity buff off of a headshot kill. But then, I'd reduce the number of kills needed to fully mitigate the delayed damage to 2, so 1 kill during tenacity's duration cuts the received delayed damage in half, and then another kill fully removes it. Good stuff all around. Then, I'd make it so that any kills beyond 2 while tenacity is still active grants armor on kill. How much? I don't know, 25%, 40%, something around there. That way there's still an incentive to press the advantage during the tenacity buff, and you can more easily mitigate that incoming damage, and then focus on healing yourself up. I think that would be a much more worthwhile and fun talent to play around when you're in combat. Alright, so that would be my preferable rework to the tenacity buff, but alternatively, let's say the devs wanted to reimagine the gun and focus on a more damage-oriented playstyle. What could they do? The first thing I'd say is to buff up the gun's accuracy functionality. Currently, I think it buffs up your accuracy from 0 to 30% throughout the duration of your magazine. I don't know about you guys, but I've hardly ever noticed that. Buff that up to 75 or even 100% like it was in year 1. Then, similarly to year 1, upon landing a headshot kill, you get weapon damage and reload speed. Maybe 30 to 50% for the damage and 50 to 100 for the reload. Now what they could also do is give you a flat accuracy buff of like 25% when you proc the talent. What this would allow and promote is it would let you reach the maximum accuracy faster on your next mag since it's stacking constantly as you fire, which then would allow for an easier time hitting headshots. They could make it so you can refresh the buff's duration if you land another another headshot kill while the buff is active. That way the gun's whole philosophy and purpose is for aggressive precision play. Would that be too OP? Maybe, but I think something along this line or a rework to its current talent like I laid out is pretty sorely needed for this gun to return to its kingly status it once had. The Eagle Bear sits in a weird spot of it still being quite good, but not really for the reasons of why an exotic should be good. I still love the thing, many others do as well, but the longer we go with its mediocre talent and the more exotics and high-end talents and guns are introduced, the further it's going to continue slipping into obscurity, which is exactly why I think it deserves some attention on the devs part to ensure that that doesn't happen to one of our only 2 chest-obtained raid-exclusive exotics. If you agree with me, then be sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. Comment down below and let me know if you agree that the Eagle Bear needs some love, and furthermore if you like and agree with my proposed ideas for a potential rework or what you'd rather see done to it instead. I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to think about this one. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, stay safe out there, and until the next one guys, RogueGold. Out.